world's most luxurious ship set sail on her maiden voyage, a symbol of human ambition and engineering brilliance. But what began as a journey of dreams soon turned into a nightmare that would echo through history. The Titanic, a name forever written in tragedy. Beneath the cold waters of the North Atlantic lies a story of hope, arrogance, love, and loss. Today, we dive deep into the mystery, the myths, and the final moments of the world's most famous ship. When Titanic sank, her mighty hull broke in two, the bow and the stern, separated by a field of scattered debris. The bow still holds its recognizable shape, its railings twisted but proud, pointing forward into the dark. The stern, however, is a place of chaos, torn apart, collapsed by pressure and violence. Between them lies a graveyard of memories, furniture, shoes, porcelain plates, and personal belongings. Everything the ship once held, now sleeping beneath a blanket of rust and silt. At this depth, the ocean is cold, just 2 degrees Celsius, the pressure immense, and the light completely gone. It is a place where time itself seems to stop. Yet even here, life has found a way. Tiny microorganisms and strange deep-sea bacteria now cover the metal surfaces of the ship. Among them is a unique species discovered only on Titanic, Halomonas titanici, a salt-loving bacterium that feeds on iron itself. These microscopic creatures slowly eat the ship, turning its steel into fragile formations of rust, known as rusticles, icicle-like shapes that hang from the hull, growing and dripping away. They are beautiful and deadly. Every risticle that grows brings the Titanic one step closer to disappearing forever. Crabs, worms, and small sea creatures occasionally crawl through her open corridor, using the ship as shelter in this cold and endless sea. Even in death, Titanic gives life. Everything aboard the Titanic, from chairs and doors to chandeliers and fine china, has been transformed by time. Metals are corroded, wood long dissolved, and fabrics have turned to dust. The captain's bathtub, once a striking symbol of luxury, has almost completely vanished. Rust now spreads across the ship like a living organism, a slow-motion decay consuming the steel inch by inch. In some areas, it expands nearly 4 inches each year, breaking off into flakes that fall to the ocean floor. The ceilings and support beams have collapsed, leaving open spaces where once elegant rooms stood. Different metals, iron, copper, and bronze, react together in the salty water, causing galvanic corrosion, which speeds the destruction. The ocean's chemistry is relentless. Piece by piece, the Titanic is being reclaimed by nature. Several forces are working together to erase the ship from history. Metal-eating bacteria like Halomonas titanicae, breaking down the steel from within. Slow ocean currents sediments brushing against the wreck and eroding its surfaces. Galvanic reactions as different metals corrode each other in salt water. Immense pressure crushing weakened parts of the hull over time, and shifting sediments which bury some parts while exposing others to faster decay. Marine scientists estimate that within a few decades, the Titanic could completely collapse, possibly by the year 2030 or soon after. Already, large sections of the bow railings have fallen, and the once grand captain's quarters are crumbling. The Titanic is fading before our very eyes. What was once the greatest ship ever built is now slowly dissolving into the sea that claimed it. They say the Titanic isn't just a wreck resting at the bottom of the ocean. Some believe it's haunted. Over a century after the ship vanished beneath the waves, strange stories began to surface. Voices in the static of sonar scans, ghostly lights flickering through the broken windows, and divers who swore they felt something watching them from the dark. Others claim that the souls of those who never escaped still wander through the rusting halls, forever trapped in the moment the ship went down. Is it the echo of the past, or something else, something beyond our understanding? The Titanic sleeps beneath miles of water, silent, cold, and forgotten. But if you listen closely, they say you can still hear the whispers of those who never left. What if the Titanic never truly sank? What if something still lives down there, waiting? Could the souls of the Titanic still be wandering in the dark, trapped beneath the waves forever? Do you believe that some places never rest, even at the bottom of the ocean? What if the Titanic isn't just a wreck, but a grave where the dead still whisper? Some say the Titanic sleeps in silence. Others say it still breathes. What do you believe? More than a century has passed, yet strange things still happen near the wreck. Coincidence or curse? No human can dive deep enough to reach the resting place of the Titanic. At nearly 12,500 feet beneath the ocean, the pressure would crush steel, and no diver could ever survive. Down there in the eternal darkness, the ship sleeps, untouched by light, untouched by time. What you're about to see is not filmed by man. It was recreated through artificial intelligence, a digital window into a world no human eyes can witness. Every frame you see is built from fragments of data, sonar scans, and imagination, bringing the Titanic back to life. One last time. Because soon, the ocean will claim what's left. The steel will turn to dust, and the greatest ship ever built will fade into nothing. This may be the last glimpse of the Titanic before she disappears forever. Now, more than a century later, the Titanic lies silent, surrounded by darkness and mystery. Her corridors are filled not with passengers, but with ghosts of memories, echoes of laughter, fear, and farewell. Every chair, every window, every artifact still exists, but covered in rust, decay, and time. The ocean has no mercy. The hull will vanish, the steel will return to dust, and the deep-sea creatures will carry on, indifferent to the tragedy that once was. When the Titanic finally disappears, all that will remain is her story, a reminder of human pride, loss, and the unstoppable power of nature.